Hey, this is Jason Spengler, the SanteeSwapper. I'm back with another unboxing video, and this one is so cool. This is actually a collection where a gentleman reached out to me. This belonged to his grandfather, and he really didn't have much experience in scouting, but he knew that his grandfather really did a lot in scouting and wanted to make sure that the collection ended up in a good hands. So I was very excited to get this collection. Actually, right over on my desk, I have a check that's going out in the mail today to the grandson to pay for this collection. I know there's a couple of good things in here, so I definitely want to show you guys what's in the box. So I love to have that shot right there to kind of see the whole setup here. Got some tissue paper here, not sure, there's a few things in there. Actually, oh, that's very cool. All right, so in this tissue paper, there are some arrowheads. Oh, that is super cool. Now, a lot of times I've noticed this, that sometimes when they were younger, that people who eventually joined Scouting would spend a lot of time outside, maybe rummaging around in one particular story I remember hearing from a guy was he was in a neighborhood that was being developed, and as they were tilling up and clearing the land, him and his buddy would go out looking for arrowheads, and they'd find a bunch of arrowheads. Now, obviously, the gentleman who collected these is deceased, and I'm buying this from the grandson, so I don't know that that's the story, but very cool to get a handful of arrowheads. Here's another unusual item in here, so check this out. There are these little metal figurines. So let's take a look at these little metal figurines. I have seen these a few times before in collections, but they're kind of unusual. I mean, I don't really know that this would have been a catalog item, but they are definitely little scout figurines made of maybe lead or something like that. It's like a heavy-duty material, so I'll have to do a little homework on those, but that's kind of an impressive little group. Again, I have to do some research on that. That's a little unfamiliar to me. All right, now this is really unusual. When I saw the picture of this, I did ask the grandson what he thought this was. Snail patches. There's a whole stack here of patches that say snail, and then there's one here that says frogs. Now, I don't know what those are. He thought maybe they were patrol patches, but they're not the right size for patrol patches. I don't honestly know if they are scouts or not. That's pretty unusual, so I have to do some homework on that and kind of figure out what's going on. Nice little box right here of stuff. Let me just kind of show you guys what's in here. A lot of times in collections there will be pins, and so this one has a lot of pins. Two of them that stand out to me are these right here. There's a matching pair here, and these would have been Explorer collar brass for someone who'd been in Explorers a long time ago. And those are really, really cool. I have a collection of these, and definitely I will put those in my collection. Then we have, this will be interesting, I'll save this for last. This is rolled up. There's some heavy stuff in here. So then there's a bunch of patches. Let me see if I can sort of get these out. Let's see what we got. Okay. So, for example, here are some camp patches, 1950. Love seeing old camp patches. There's a 1946 camp patch. Yeah, that's pretty old. Corn Belt Council. Now, anytime that you start to see in a collection, I see there's 5 of this one patch, then that tells me that, boom, that's got to be where that gentleman was from. And then here's also another camp patch I'm seeing multiples of. So it looks like this guy would have grown up in that council, Corn Belt Council. I am seeing some other patches here, like for example, here's a camp patch from New Jersey. There's one Badger Council, Skill Award Boy Scout Reservation, not sure about that guy. I don't think there's many OA patches in this collection. The only one I've seen so far in the pictures was this one that says from Illini Lodge 92. Random Baltimore here. So definitely this would have been a guy who would have done some patch trading at some point, because there is kind of a diversity to the patches that you see here. It's not just all stuff from the same area. But having said that, there's lots of good little stuff here. And then you see something like this from 1951, just a little silkscreen patch that it's kind of cool that still has survived. And then Corn Belt Council, Again, love seeing these 1950s patches, these cut edge twills. Here's a nice woven patch, probably from the Apache company that made them during that time period. This I can recognize as being a Jamboree souvenir neckerchief from 1969. So there is kind of a broad range of patches, not just from one particular area in this pile. Yeah, that is unusual. So let me throw these up here because I know a few of you might have spotted these in the scrum. I will have to do my homework and confirm if these are legitimate, but surely just by looking at them, they look pretty clean. There are some reproductions and also some outright fakes of these early felt Jamboree patches, but hopefully what I have here is a mint 1935 and a slightly less mint 1937 Jamboree, which there's always people looking to get those first two Jamboree patches. All right, I told you guys that rolled up in here, I knew there was a couple of good things, so let me kind of unroll this for you and we will see what we see. How's that? See anything good there? All right, I see some stuff good. Oh, I had it upside down, sorry. All right, let me flip it this way, guys. We'll try it again. All right, take two. Now, do you see anything good? Okay, so what we have here, we have some historic trail awards, which would have been earned by going to a historic trail and usually had to walk the trail, maybe do some kind of activity. So several of those fit in that category. There's also on the top here some NRA medals, but there's some other medals that I want to point out. So let me see if I can get these under the camera here. It's a little awkward, so you have to kind of give me a break here. All right, so maybe I just get these three here. They're in the zoom there. So the first would have been, I believe that's a MacArthur medal, and that would have been sort of a World War II era medal that would have been given out if you were someone who was doing the waste paper stuff and kind of other things to help with the war effort. And then there here, of course, is a sterling silver Eagle Scout medal. And then the real winner, the best item out of all of this stuff, is this medal right here. This is an Explorer Silver medal. I'm sorry, Explorer Ranger medal. The Ranger medal was only available in those years after World War II up until 1950. And it was basically, you became an expert in outdoor skills. It was a very difficult award to earn. And it was something that, I don't know how many were issued, but not that many. And so that Ranger medal I do already have in my collection, but it is one of those pieces that I'm just in love with. I love the old senior scouting program that the BSA had, and I think the Ranger medal kind of is just sort of the crown jewel of that. So I'm very excited to get that. That tells me that his grandfather was a super serious scout doing this in the late 1940s and maybe into the early 1950s based on what we've seen. I'm going to take this medal off just so I can give you guys a little closer up look to it, because to me this is a really killer piece. I want to be careful with it. Trying to roll that thing around and get the groove out. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just put this up here by itself so you can kind of get a nice look at that. So that's a beautiful design. They actually still use this exact same design today. They brought back this program. Today it's called Venturing in 1998. And when they brought it back, they brought back this Ranger Award. It's very difficult to get. Very few scouts or very few venturers will earn it. And then it's just very cool that in this collection, I also have the matching Eagle medal, which can go with it. So, you know, this kind of shows that the senior scouting program was meant to take a scout from perhaps when they finished their Eagle, maybe they were 14, 15 years old, and kind of extend their career in scouting, keep them involved when they were 16, 17, heading into 18. Definitely that Ranger medal would have been earned by someone who would probably have been, you know, 16, 17, 18, headed that direction versus being younger, because it's very, very difficult to get. Some of these other medals here are interesting in their own right, but I don't want to run the video on forever, and I just want to kind of finish with the strong ones there. So anyways, Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper. As you can tell here, what I do is I buy collections from people, especially sometimes situations where there's a family member that has passed away and no one else in the family is really interested in the stuff. I'm very interested in it. I'm an avid collector and scouter, and so I'd love to talk to you if that's your situation. You can find me on my website, scoutpatchcollectors.com. There I have other videos, I do a podcast, I send out an email newsletter to collectors, and otherwise just stay very plugged into social media and the internet. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.